Well, our main match comes from the City Ground, where Stuart Pearce arrived early before his first game as manager of Nottingham Forest. Pearce has never been one to shirk a challenge in his life, and for at least the next month, he has to lead the fight to avoid relegation. Forest are bottom then, and have the unenviable record of the longest sequence of games without a win in Premier League history, 16 matches. Today, for Pearce and his team, high-flying Arsenal. Arsene Wenger's side could go back to the top if they win. Here with news of the return of a famous name and the rest of the team news, Martin Tyler.
Well, Pearce has immediately brought in a former favourite, Nigel Clough on loan from Manchester City. Clough's a substitute today. 3 changes from the side which lost 4-2 at Liverpool in Frank Clark's final match. And there's a switch in the shape of the team as well. Nikola Jurkan, the Croatian international, and Steve Chettle come into a 3-man defence, which includes Pearce himself. 5 in midfield with Dean Saunders, normally a striker, of course, wide on the right. Colin Cooper anchoring in the centre. And in attack, Brian Roy, out of favour for most of the season, supports the former Arsenal striker, Kevin Campbell. Arsenal are without Tony Adams and Patrick Vieira, both suspended, and the injured Lee Dixon, but Martin Keown is back, and Dennis Bergkamp proved his fitness by scoring for Holland in the World Cup last weekend. Vieira's place goes to another Frenchman, Remy Gard. It's his first full game for Arsenal, and 20-year-old Gavin McGowan is given Dixon's job on the right. Steve Lodge from Barnsley in Yorkshire is the referee, trying to get himself properly loosened up. It is bitterly cold, strong winds blowing in the East Midlands, a wind of change around Nottingham Forest Football Club over the past couple of days. How will it all pan out for Stuart Pearce here this afternoon? He's going to get a touch of the ball straight away. Challenged by an England squad colleague, Paul Merson. Here's Chettle. Jurkan. And Dean Saunders, who's found goal getting very difficult, coming to the club at the start of the season, but less responsibility in that respect. He's working for the good of the unit on the right-hand side. He's on the ball here. Ian Woe. So often a change at the top of a professional football club does bring at least a short-term improvement. Bergkamp. Wright just pulling away. Cooper trying to get to Ian Wright. Tries to make space for his own shot, but Crossley hadn't come too far out to be checked. And there was just a suspicion in the first place that Bergkamp might have been offside when the ball came his way, but there was no flag. See what was in Wright's mind. He just lost his balance as he changed direction, and Crossley coped well enough. Saunders. He's come behind Campbell, dealt with by Linnigan, in between Keown and Bold again. And Platt, looking as though he was losing his balance as well as the ball, and the gloved Brian Roy. It's not an easy surface. Very dry, and there's not a natural roll to the ball. Merson trying to carry it forward. Wone gets a foot in. Guard. Now Keown. Bergkamp. Keown. Bergkamp. Keown. Lovely play between the two, and it lacked only the strike again. Martin Keown doesn't get many goals. Did score one here for Arsenal a couple of years ago, and the winner last season was contributed by Bergkamp. Well, the two of them in tandem, very easy on the eye, but then easy for the hands of Mark Crossley. One just got a toe in. Campbell. Suddenly Forest and switch it forward with Roy. Saunders coming in from the right-hand side. Roy having to just hold and wait for help. Close quarters. Bounced off Wone's foot, collected by Platt. Not the best pass from Pearce. Was determined to make that his. Roy winning the header against Gard. A fine ball by Wone. Allen. Well, Chris Allen was in behind McGowan then, and Wone put the ball in perfectly. But that's the story of Nottingham Forest, particularly in home games, with only 5 goals here in the league so far this season. Now Gard, but that's too short for Wright, who wanted it over the top and is telling the Frenchman. Now Wright's got it, his backing is also wasteful, so having complained about the ball being misplaced, he then went and did it himself. But he's now chased after Merson, who obviously said something, and shoved Merson in the back. And, well, Arsenal, who pride themselves on their team spirit, but 2 players there in a flare-up with each other. There's Linnigan at the back of Campbell. Bergkamp to Merson. Back to Bergkamp. And it's Wone putting it over McGowan for Allen to chase. And we went to the pass for Roy, and Arsenal again defensively were able to deal with it. Scoring the first goal would mean so much to Forest, but it's Arsenal looking to get it with Platt, who must have heard the footsteps of Stuart Pearce, because he panicked into an early shot, and the best opening for the side trying to go top today. Here's Cooper. It's left for Lukic. He moved to it rather casually. And he just looped it forward over the head of Wone for Gard's run. The man on the left for Arsenal, Merson. Winterburn coming outside him as well. Merson shot. And Crossley, who hasn't had a huge amount to do of a difficult nature, was certainly equal to the power of it. It came at a very comfortable height and straight out the goalkeeper. But it was a quick break, orchestrated by a man in goal at the other end, John Lukic. Gard. Merson having to reach it on the run and doing that very skillfully indeed to produce a corner. It was Kevin Campbell who found himself in a position of having to mark Paul Merson as the ball dropped. Merson's first touch was superb. Right, waiting for any sort of flick on by Bold. Campbell marking Linnigan well. Merson back to Winterburn to bend it in first time. Should be the goalkeeper's ball. Oh, he's dropped it. And Ian Wright puts Arsenal into the lead. Into the second half, a catastrophe for Crossley, and there was no escape from the error. Windy it may be at the City Ground, but the goalkeeper should have dealt with that. A touch from Keogh found Wright, who found the roof of the net. So Arsenal heading to the top of the table. Wright 21st goal of the season, and a typical piece of opportunism. Well, Mark Crossley doesn't need to be told, does it? Just miscalculated where the ball would drop. But Wright didn't miscalculate at all. Cross comes McGowan, good defending and applauded by the senior citizens at the back for Arsenal. He's hurt himself in doing so. Saunders. And an equaliser from Haaland. With McGowan down and Arsenal a little disorientated. Alf Inge Haaland has swept Nottingham Forest level. Saunders, who's worked so hard to try and make things happen, drilled it across, and the shot was unerring from the Norwegian. But you'll see McGowan down there, unable to play a part in the defending. He'd hurt himself a few seconds earlier, and Haaland, all alone, scores for Nottingham Forest at a crucial time in the match, and maybe a crucial time in the season. And Stuart Pearce has seen the team that he now manages as well as captains get back in contention. Ian Wright is impeded. By Jurkan. And now Wright has just gone across to Jurkan. And the next thing, Jurkan was on the ground and Steve Lodge didn't see it. And now he's on to his associate, John Holbrook. And Ian Wright is sent off. Wright looking for retribution. Well, he's shown flashes of temper earlier in the game, the incident with Merson. And this time, when he got a free kick, he went looking for Jurkan and looking for trouble. He's found trouble. He now tries to redeem himself with an apology, but it's his teammates and himself that he's really let down. So a straight red card for that little flick out there to say to Jurkan, you shouldn't be fouling me, but he's taken the law into his own hands and he's paid the price for it. Merson. So headed in towards flat by Steve Morrow. Saunders. Easily past Morrow, who lost his footing. Still Saunders. Arsenal let him go a long way. He's already scored one goal from his cross at Forest, and almost a carbon copy. Campbell that time. The ball skipping comfortably through to Lukic in the end. Hartson doing enough to make Little put it out, and also indicating to Winterburn that he should be able to take the throw from well up the pitch, almost level with the corner of the penalty area. Hartson's still doing some beckoning. Now he wants to get the ball. And he does get it. Not able to control it though. Catching Clark. Whoa, Clark. Merson trying to get away. Pearce comes across. Little. Pearce looking for a fairy tale finish to his first game at the Hill. Crossing it In towards Campbell. Haaland might provide the fairy tale. It's Stuart Pearce's scenario, thanks to the Norwegian. Alf Inge Haaland has found the scoring touch for Nottingham Forest to turn around a potential disaster to what now looks very much like their first home win of the season. When one was looking perhaps for a clear shot, he provided the pass. Forest fought for it after that, and Haaland forced in his second goal of the game. Hartson, Merson, Forest. Well, it may not take them off the bottom of the league, but what a tonic it will be, particularly at this time of the year when the matches come thick and fast, and if you can put a run together, well, suddenly things change very, very dramatically. Pearce rolls it back to Crossley, whose mistake now not being talked about, because Ian Wone is on the rampage, and there could be another one off. Well, he ran out of pipe, it seems. Will it matter? Because Hartson heads on. Pearce, who's only a few seconds away now from, I'm sure, punching the air at the final whistle in typical style. Still no sign of the final whistle from Stephen Lodge. Arsenal, you have to say, have contributed somewhat to their own downfall with Ian Wright. They were also unlucky in the way McGowan was injured just before the equaliser. Here goes Lukic right up towards the halfway line. But it's not aimed particularly well, although Pearce chose to play it. He could have let it go through to the goalkeeper. Clough and Allen confusing each other. Here's Ray Parlour. Blocked off, and it's a free kick to Arsenal. We're in the third minute of time added on. It's this or nothing for Arsenal. And Crossley knocks it away, and Dean Saunders shuffles forward and heads first and foremost for the corner flag, I think. He's certainly used up a few more priceless seconds. What a splendid start for Stuart Pearce. Thanks to 2 goals from Alf Inge Haaland, who goes to the caretaker player-manager. Pearce's first match in charge of Nottingham Forest, and after 16 league games without a win, and none at all here at the City Ground this season. 3 points against the side that came second in the table. Well, it will be a much happier Christmas in this part of the football world. Arsenal troop off. Forest are already celebrating in the dressing room. And we finish with a final score. Nottingham Forest 2, Arsenal 1.